Electric vehicle industry has come a long way since many years, many decades now here on. How do you see it evolving from here?
See, the last 5 years, if you see, electric vehicles have grown because of, some key factors which have been behind overcoming some of the key barriers to adoption of electric vehicles. The first and foremost, I would say, is the policy support by the government, which is through lower GST rate, FAME incentive and PLI, and state governments also coming with complementary policies. I think that has helped a lot. More importantly, the product, electric vehicles used to be very expensive. In the last 2 years, I would say 1.5 years, you have seen cars coming from 8 lakh price point up to 20 lakh. This is where 90% of the personal cars get sold. That has really helped in adoption of electric vehicles a lot. Also, a lot of early adopters, the first 50,000 buyers who bought the electric cars had very positive word of mouth, and that encouraged the late adopters or late majority to also go for electric vehicles. And more importantly, there has been progressive improvement in the charging infra, which has now crossed 10,000, more approaching 15,000 now. So this has been the journey, and that is the reason why from 5 years back, electric cars were 2,000 sold in a year. Now, last year it was 1 lakh units. The theme to go forward would need more barriers to be addressed. One is that we need more choices for the customers of cars which deliver more than 400 kilometer range in terms of real range, I'm saying. Also, it will be important that the government continues, with the support that they have been giving, so that critical mass after which the whole industry can become self-rolling is getting attained. Charging infra needs to go from 10,000 to now 1 lakh or even 5 lakh to support the kind of growth that we anticipate or we are envisioning by 2030, which is 30% of the cars to be sold should be electric vehicles. I think these are the enablements and further, overcoming the barriers that are there, which will help in taking forward this theme.
So what are the key imperatives for stakeholders, including OEMs, government and other stakeholders, to ensure the development of the overall ecosystem?
Correct. I would say there are probably 3 stakeholders here. Government, as you said, and the OEMs and the ecosystem players, I would say. Government, as I said, that they should maintain the policy continuity, which is basically the 5% GST and various support of road tax waiver and all by different state government should continue till we attain about 18 to 20% of penetration of electric vehicles. That is one support. Also on the regulation side, when we are talking about emission norms and all, or a CAFE norm, for example, it should encourage every OEM to now start having a certain mix of electric vehicle. I think that will be needed, and that's a role that government has to play in terms of what will be the balance of regulation and incentives that will help grow the electric vehicles. From an OEM perspective, as I said, more choices need to come at different price point, different body styles, higher range vehicles and all. This is to be a work to be done by the OEMs. From an ecosystem player perspective, the charge point operators and the oil marketing companies and everybody who's investing in the charging infra has to expand and accelerate the charging infra faster with the help of OEMs, because it has to be the locations have to be chosen properly so that their utilization also goes high and it is put in the right place where the customer wants those chargers. So I think that will be an imperative for them. For suppliers also, it's a big opportunity on the back of PLI scheme and all. I think they should leverage this not only to meet the domestic demand, but also become a global hub for electric component supply, component supply. So I would say these are the imperatives for various stakeholders.
So from what we put together today, we were listing skill sets are an important point which has to be addressed now. Because by 2030, if the targets have to be met, skill sets are important. How are you addressing, or maybe industries addressing the deficiencies which are there?
Early days, I would say, right now, as I said, that companies like us are doing all skill development internal, right? Whereas it has to need me scaled up at a country level for all the EV ecosystem player to prepare the skill that will be needed. And, one of the reports said that you would need by 2030 nearly 2 lakh of such skills, and not all the skills which are in ICE vehicles are transferable to EVs. So there's a lot of skilling, upskilling, reskilling, all these work have to be done. And it has to be done in a very structured manner because it is across the value chain, which means that the service technicians need to be prepared. Operator level, blue collar has to be also prepared for different kind of jobs in the area of mechanical, electrical, and all, which is slightly different than ICE vehicles. You have to, for the engineering perspective, you need to change the curriculum of the engineering college to integrate electric vehicles and the courses in the chapter. So a lot of work has to be done in the next 5-6 years. And I think that's the whole intent of the study that SIAM conducted with the help of Deloitte. And it has at least given us a 35,000 feet view of what needs to be done. Now this has to be detailed out. We have to work with the government academia to see how we can come with a comprehensive skill development policy as well as plan, I would say.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for giving us your time, sir.
Thank you.